Good afternoon. Jared Hughes, head coach of the Rome Lady Wolves. This is my third year with the program, and I have brought with me senior Lily Blanchard, who plays guard for us, and also senior forward Asia Powell.
I'm Rome Wolves as well, not the Lady Wolves, but this is the Rome High School Wolves. Dawson Wehunt, I'm in my second year. I brought with me, sorry, this mic is actually like this. I brought senior Malachi Glover and senior Amari Boatner.
Well, coaches, players, welcome. We're glad that you're here with us today. I'm David Humphreys. I'm the area director here in Rome with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And coaches, if y'all would just take a moment here and kind of give us your anticipations, your projections up this upcoming season.
Well, for the girls team, we're obviously excited. We are coming off of two really solid 20-win seasons, state tournament berths. We are replacing a lot of key pieces, but with that comes the excitement of filling those shoes. We've started practice over the last couple of weeks and had some progress there. We have an incoming freshman class that's very large, very athletic, very coachable. Combine that with our key returners from last year, and we are hopeful to make another state tournament run, for whether it be through the leadership of our older kids or through the tenacity of some of our new ones. But it's just, as a coach, putting those puzzle pieces together to make sure everything fits. But we're really excited about it.
For me, I think the goals for this season is honestly to just build a stronger program. Of course, we want to win, but we can't do that through, not having connections with each other and not understanding what we're trying to do. As a senior, I'm trying to, teach the younger ones, because they'll be here longer than I am, of course, so teach them, what it means to be a Rome Lady Wolf. So, yeah, connection and wins through that.
For me, it means to just come in and always buy in. I want to make sure that we all just have a strong bond together and that we can always work together and always talk to each other about any problems or anything that we have going on.
For the boys' side, last year was my first year, so trying to build on, obviously, the momentum we had last year. They always say your first year is kind of just figuring everything out. I was running around with a chicken, with my head cut off 95% of the time last year. This year we return 4 seniors. We're going to have a wide mix of some freshmen that'll play, some sophomores that'll play, some juniors that'll play. We've got a solid 4 seniors that have all started games, whether that was sophomore year, junior year, or even their freshman year. After that, we've got a wide variety of about 5 through 12 that they're going to be fighting tooth and nail to figure out who's going to be in that rotation. Last year we didn't play many guys. We're trying to kind of widen that this year. Had a really successful year last year, played in the region championship, won a first-round game, which was huge. I don't think that had been done in Rome or at Rome in probably 10, 12, 15 years. Coach Hughes, correct me if I'm wrong. So really excited for the year. Our kids have been getting after it. Our season kind of gets postponed a little bit until our football team gets going, because we got a lot of guys that play both. So obviously want them to try and win a state championship. So we're just going to keep on plugging away until those guys get done.
Yeah, to follow up what we had said, my bad. But our goals for the season are just, get better, have a good season, follow up with last year, come back better than ever,
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, it is working. I think we're trying to build a stronger culture, build a brotherhood, become closer so we can win more games. Trying to do better in the classroom as well, not just basketball related, trying to do better in school as well.
Well, touching on that, because you just brought it up, if you would, players, talk about your position as a role model and what that means, and what you feel like that's your responsibility.
So as a role model, I am never going to hold myself to any other standard that I hold my fellow teammates. I am an AP student, and I do all honors AP, stuff like that, and I put forth my best effort in everything that I do, whether it's on the court, on the field, in the classroom, and I hold my teammates to that same standard. I'm always, willing to lend a helping hand. I understand it can be hard to balance, but it's doable for sure. You know, they've been doing it forever, so it's doable. So yeah, just being a role model for me is to just not hold yourself above your teammates, but to just understand that they are looking to you, so you need to be doing what you're telling them they should do.
For me, being a role model is to be able to take corrections for yourself, but also helping your teammates. And if I can take corrections from my teammates and others can take corrections from me, I mean, like showing up to class on time, being at school, good attendance, just small things like that.
Yeah, to follow up what they said, being a role model is, doing what you're telling other people to do. Me being a role model, I try to be, more than what I say to, the younger people coming up, because I've been part of the program for 4 years, but I try to, do the extra mile in practice, or, make sure I'm in class every day, make sure I'm at school on time, all that.
I think being a role model requires, telling others what to do, teaching others, since you've been here longer.
Stephen Frazier with Rome Area FCA. Coaches, the players that you have here with you, it's not just because of their time that they put into the team, but you've identified them as leaders. What has it been that has stood out to you that has earned them as being a leader in your eyes?
I feel like we're very lucky to have the kids that we have in our program. Number one, we pick the right kids. Like I said earlier, we're putting this puzzle together piece by piece, and the wrong fit can destroy the whole look of everything. So number one, we kind of do things that way. So we're very blessed to be around people that do things the right way, and that's no better example than the two that are sitting up right here. We have a saying that the standard is the standard, and if they're our standard, everybody else has a lot to live up to. They're excellent students. They're phenomenally respected in the building. They are multifaceted in everything that they do. They participate in multiple things, and they excel in multiple things. And if that's the standard that our seniors are striving to, that's a great example for all of our younger kids as well.
Yeah, these two guys right here, I'm laughing as I'm thinking what I'm going to say. They get to deal with me probably more than they would like to. Anything goes wrong at practice, they usually get blamed. If we have a drill that goes wrong, they get blamed. If a kid doesn't make it to class, they get blamed. If we run the set wrong, they get blamed, and they're probably nodding their heads and thinking, man, he's mean. They're two guys that are in weights with us. So from 2 o'clock until they get to go home from practice, they're mine. There are really leaders in the weight room, leaders in the program. They know the terminology that we like to use. They know the sets we're looking to use. They know how we want to guard action. So a lot of times we might split up into groups, and they take the third group and are teaching the freshmen or sophomores, hey, this is how we're going to close out. Top foot, top hand. This is how we're going to switch ball screens. This is how we're going to do this. So two kids that have been here, they've been here my entire tenure here when I was the assistant as well. Got to coach them in JV as well. So they've been around it a while. Hold them to a very high standard, and they kind of know the expectation, because if not, they do not really like what I have to say or how I have to say it.
Coach Weehunt, what did you learn in your first year as a head coach?
I come across as someone that I think some would say is arrogant, and I would probably say I am that as well. I learned that, and I've always been told that you don't know anything, and I realized that I don't know anything. Year one, I thought I had an idea of how to, and Jared's laughing as we talk about this all the time. You think you have a great idea of how you're going to guard, how you're going to run this, you're going to run this, and you realize very quickly it's so much about relationships. It's so much about pouring into your kids, and whether these two know how to run 800 different sets. The biggest thing is, do they trust what I'm saying? Do they trust in their teammates? And are they willing to kind of dive on the floor for a loose ball? Are they willing to show up early for practice? Are they willing to, in the locker room, take a moment of 30 seconds and talk to guys? So I learned a lot, but that's kind of just to sum it up of it's not all about out here. It's so much more culturally and standard-wise more than anything.
And then Coach Hughes, what have you learned being now a coach of two sports?
They all lend something different to the table, but leading young people is leading young people. I have learned that no matter if it's in a church youth group setting, or if you're the manager at a Chick-fil-A working with a bunch of teenagers, or if you're a flag football coach and a girls basketball coach. It goes to what Coach Wehunt said. Once they know they're cared for, everything else kind of falls in line. So I'm lucky to have Lily, for example, as a crossover star. She's our quarterback on the flag football team and also our guard on the basketball team. So I am blessed by being around bigger team with flag football, and then the familiar faces of girls basketball. So I get the best of both worlds. I get these new faces that are teaching me some new things about my coaching style, because I cannot coach some of these flag girls the same way that I coach the basketball girls. So it's adaptability, it's learning on the go, because flag football is new to them, it's new to me. So being able to adjust on the fly, as Coach Wehunt said, the most perfect made plans don't really work sometimes in coaching. It's about moving pieces and putting everything together the right way. So that's what I've learned so far.
This question's for both boys and girls. Playoffs for both of you last year, but you replaced a lot of production, losing some key seniors, key pieces. I know you have to build your style of play around what you have on the roster. So how will the style of play change, and what are your overall goals for this season?
I think the biggest thing that we've honestly talked about is there's really not somebody who's going to drop 20, 30 points. Maya was just ridiculous, and we were blessed to have her. But I think this year we're going to focus on more team style of play, where, tonight may be my night. I give us 10, 12, but tonight we have a freshman who may give us the same amount. So I think just understanding who can give us what and setting them up for success is going to be the biggest part of our season this year.
Like Lily said, we don't have that person anymore to drop that amount of points. So our key factor would just be working together and knowing our teammate mainly, and just understanding each other.
Yeah, last year, we certainly have some pieces to replace, but we have, Mari was injured last year, and my other teammate Marquez, we also have and couple players, but we're gonna run more sets, press differently, just change. My bad. Just change the whole, flow of how we did things, just to adjust.
I guess I can finish him. We're going to play. Cut off.
More guys?
More guys, yeah.
Try and be a little bit deeper, press a little bit more, change defenses a little bit. So kind of the plan. We'll see how it goes.
Coaches, thank y'all so much for your time. Players, enjoy yourself. We'll be looking forward to keeping up with you. Thank you, coaches.